It took us 15 years and 3 supercomputers to make Guyver a system which is not gate and not for a gate. For a P90. Beautiful. Today I will show you how to get the Perun P90 Mosfet into a P90. And so the Perun said it's for an TM P90 and likewise. And yeah, so I decided to use an TM P90 for reasons. This thing needs to get out. This is the first thing we can read in the manual. How do we get it out? We do the only thing that's really hard on a P90, we get out the gearbox. Yeah, to get out the gearbox you just remove two screws. As you have seen, the upper receiver was actually extremely hard to reach, so we will probably have to do this within several minutes of work. Well, okay, so this is the P90 gearbox. The whole switchy thing here will go away. This thing will go away. Now we can just get it out, and that's it. Yeah, we don't need it anymore. This is the full amount of stuff we get when we purchase the P90 Mosfet from Perun. There is a main board, and a board for programming, which is not needed if you don't want to program anymore, and you can just get it off then. Maybe as a tournament lock or something. You can just remove this board if everything's set properly. And there are some support things for the trigger and the trigger itself, and a 3D printed cutoff lever, which first scared me a little bit. Cutoff lever, a lot of tension on it. For a P90 these are hard to get and not as durable as I would like them to be. So I just thought, okay, this thing is 3D printed, but in fact there is a lot less tension on that thing, because it doesn't have to oh damn it, I fucked up. There's, I don't know if you can see that, but there is a tiny little spring that just jumped into the gearbox, and I will need to get it out. Well, in fact, there is a lot more pressure on the cutoff when it needs to get the power cut manually, and let's jump the trigger out. So this thing just have to move. That's it. Just a little bit. The spring will be built in, of course, but this thing just have to do a little movement, and there will be a light switch, and the unit will recognize. There's also a little screw on this thing. Maybe you have another version of a P90 and the tolerances are a little bit China-like, and so you can use a screw to make sure your cutoff level will be detected. So now we need to secure the main board. This thing got two possibilities for the cables, front and rear. The wires go to the rear, to the motor, that's the obvious thing. And then we got this cycle detection part. This needs to work with the cutoff we just installed. And oh damn it, I fucked up the cam, but yeah, there is one very long screw in the package and we need to use this one. It gets in here, and for this P90 box, actually, because we have a regular TM one, it doesn't fit. So this is how the board should fit, and this is a screw which doesn't go through it. This is because TM uses self-cutting screws here, and the thread is actually not all the way through the gearbox shells. So yeah, this way we can just put it in a little bit and then we get to a little problem. What are we gonna do? We will just use a drill, and that's it. Drilling. Alright, let's try again. The screw fits perfectly, and on the other side, Perun recommends to secure the screw with their 2-layer screw protection system. To be honest, I'm not quite sure why Perun recommends to use their screws. The long one I can understand, but the front screw, for example, they recommend you to change. This on a TM box is not a good idea, because we have the self-cutting screw in the front and we can just drop in the one from Perun. So I will just leave out one. So this is cycle detection, will work quite fine, I guess. And the front one I will not replace. So yeah, you need to connect the motor, quite obviously. This thing's actually quite easy to install, and it's like a natural process if you have an idea how this is working. So I just read the manual like once, then I built in one of these, then I waited like 5 months, and now I'm doing this video, and I'm not rereading the manual. Maybe I do some bullshit here, but I guess if it works, it works. So these two cables actually close to the same length, one on one side, one on the other. One is for the programming board and one is for the trigger control. So the trigger will work like Perun loves it, with a magnet, and this control board here works just with a simple switch and an LED to find out what the fuck are you doing. So make sure you connect these the right way around, just to not damage the little pins in there. It's like the pins on a LiPo battery. If you damage them, they are fucked and it's very hard to replace. Good. Now the definitely hardest part on this is to get the gearbox in the body with the cable placed perfectly. So what you want to do is do this, well, In fact, sometimes I think there is a little too much space in a P90. Possibly true. Nah. So this one needs to get all through the body and to the front part where we removed the long metal thing, and it needs to be placed in a certain way so it won't be connected with the hop chamber, or not get to interfere with the hop chamber. And yeah, this is a little bit annoying, but let's be honest, there wasn't much to give me some test whatsoever. I wasn't raging at all. This is somehow the real time I'm doing this, so we are doing this for about 10 minutes and we are close to finished. This is freaking fast. So what I do next is to secure the programming board to make it look fancy if I connect the battery. No, to have it there and to make it very, very, very easy to program the thing. If I actually did this, I will show you a picture how it looks. And this is how it should look. You can actually remove the little black plastic thing and makes it way easier to fit in. Yeah, but that's it. Looks fucking futuristic. What the fuck? Futuristic. Oh damn it. I just had little problems with that. So this is to secure the support board and the trigger board. This is actually a genius idea. You put this thing in and then you just screw on the trigger board, and this secures this thing also. Sounds a little weird, but it's just a pressure thing. So the trigger board just goes under this little plastic thing, and if I now secure this, everything is fixed in place. So if I'm able to get the screw up, and if I'm able to get the screw in the right place, and if I'm not doing stupid things, this is very easy and goes very fast. So let's just say we could finish this in 30 seconds less than I do, cause I'm not even close to what I hoped for. Not a professional, obviously. Wait. Okay, this one was perfect. It's perfect. Just forget the trigger board screw. The support board screw is the one. So, the interesting part is this trigger. This one just needs to be placed on the moving part here, and then we secure it with a screw in there, and we want to have these two little arrows matched. So we just used a little hex screw to secure the trigger, and then we just match the trigger board with the actual trigger, like that. Quite fucking easy. And we're still on minute 15. So next thing you want to make sure is that these signal wires won't get in touch or in trouble with your hop chamber like this. We will put them aside a little bit. Maybe I can show you how this should look. Possibly you can see this. So this is crucial, obviously, because of feeding problems, shortcuts and stuff. And yeah, you should be careful and don't use force like all the time. And that's it. Really easy shit. Just put it in. Now your P90 is in fact perfectly built, and now we get on a battery and do the initial programming. This thing already shoots, but the trigger isn't perfect. Programming mode, 2 little pushes on the button. One for activating the board, one for activating the programming mode. So the programming card shows you which one is the trigger calibration mode. It's like the last one you could press. And if you did this, you just push it to safe, press the trigger, push it to semi, press the trigger, push it to auto, press the trigger, and always click the little button in between. And that's it. You get a little beautiful beep and finished. Safe, nothing. Semi. Shooting, semi. And auto, shooting auto. Also, the semi on a half pull trigger thing is working perfectly. There's a this is the trigger calibration. This is the one thing you need to do. Everything else is optional, but this one you need to do. Okay, that's it. Fucking easy. Less than 20 minutes. And you have a very, very well built €100 unit in your P90. And I hope it's a good one. Not a Jingong. Okay, the Jingong actually is pretty good.